Hello guys, this is Gethrude here, and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video, the first from me. And as the title suggests, in this video I will give you tips as a beginner, uh, what kind of things I would have loved to know uh, when I first started playing. I'm not really that far off, so I'm not even a month in the game. But there are still things that I think I could have done better if I've known what to focus on and where to put my resources properly. Of course, there are things that I've known because there are a lot of good videos and good content creators that help beginners, and not only beginners but players on all stages with stuff. Uh, but the temptation was there, and you can't resist it sometimes to try your luck. So uh, let's just dive into the details now. So first of all, the first thing that you want to focus on after you picked your starting champion is to fully rank up. So make your first 6 star, and uh, however crude it sounds, you will first 6 star your starter champion. It doesn't matter if you pull another great epic or legendary. I don't know why I showed Phoenix. So, for example, I put Trunda here when there was a 10x event for Trunda. I will later on explain what are these 2x and 10x events. Uh, but I pulled her. I was really lucky, but as you can see, she's still a 5 star champion. And the reason for that is your starting champion is a rare champion. Here, Aethel is my starting champion, as you can see, and you will be able to max out a rare champion much more easily uh, than an epic or a legendary champion, no matter the stage you are at. So even if you're mid game or late game, uh, it's always easier and less resourceful to max out a rare champion. As you can see, I have 3 6 stars at the moment, and all three are rares because it's just that much easier to ascend them later on, and actually to book them, because the main thing is that you want uh, if you want to 6 star a champion, you really want to use its full potential. And for example, Aethel is fully booked, and the other example here is Apothecary, who is a great rare. Most content creators says that he's the second best rare in the entire game after Coldheart. I unfortunately don't have Coldheart now, or yet. Hopefully I will get her someday. But yeah, Apothecary will. I don't say that he will carry you, but he is going to be your main support champion for a long time. But that besides the point. So as you can see, I fully booked him. Maybe I shouldn't have booked his A1, but I wanted to fully book him up uh, because rare skill books are. I'm not saying that there's plenty of them, uh, but it's always easier to find rare skill books than to find epic skill books. For example, here are the events, which I will talk about later on. And here in the Heroes Path event, you can see that reaching uh, actually two rare skill books which I didn't pick up because I went for the epic and legendary skill book, and hopefully I will get the other epic skill book. But as you can see, you need much less points for these rare skill books from this event, and if you cannot reach uh, this stage where you can grab at least one of the legendary books or epic books, you need to prioritize the things that you can get. So it's always better to go for the rare skill books, pick up both, for example, and later if you have remaining points, pick up some stuff like a bit of silver or these charms instead of going all out for the legendary book. And let's say you go in this path of the tree and you reach the chaos ore, the 6-star chaos ore, but you won't have enough points to get these books in the end because you spent that much more in this part of the tree. So um, that would be my first thing, that you should focus on your starting character in the first week or 2 weeks to fully rank up them, fully level them to level 60, and then fully ascend them because there are quite a few champions in the game that get something extra after you ascend them to level 3, so 3 purple stars. um, I can show you, for example, Phoenix. I don't have him ascended yet, but you can see if I ascend him to 3 stars, then he has something extra in his skills. Uh, for example, his Avon becomes quite powerful in some dungeons because some enemies cannot be revived after killing them with this A1. So that's the first thing, to max out your character, and that includes booking them first and getting the masteries uh, for your starter character. And the easiest way is uh, or needs some discipline, I think, because it requires gems. Uh, because you can buy all the scrolls that you need for a character. Uh, let's say below here. So you can see the scrolls that I have on him, and these scrolls are the cost or the price for unlocking these masteries. So if I want to unlock a new mastery in this row, then I need 80 mid-tier scrolls to unlock that. And if I press that get all scrolls, then then you can see that I can buy it for 800 gems. And actually, by the time you reach the level 60 fully ascended stage with your starting character, you will get that 800 gems to fully unlock the masteries, and that will be so helpful. I mean, you cannot even compare, because because especially for these last row, the level 6 masteries, or yeah, rank 6 masteries. Uh, for Aethel, I went first with Flawless Execution, which is good, plus crit damage. But you really want later on to have either War Master or Giant Slayer if uh, that that champion is in your clan boss team, or even if you're using them to farm dungeons and they're going against a boss. It's great because uh, these skills do damage based on the enemy's max HP, and the bosses have really huge HP pools, like, yeah, really huge, especially the clan boss, who has starting from uh, around 10-15 million HP, and on Ultra Nightmare above 100 million or 200 million HP. So yeah, this is just a huge chunk of damage. And okay, then I can talk about the difference between the two. I picked Giant Slayer for Aethel because uh, both Giant Slayer and Warmaster procs or damages based on the enemy max HP, but they work a bit differently. Warmaster damages more, 10% champions max HP or 4% max HP when attacking bosses. Giant Slayer 75% and 3%. But Giant Slayer can proc each and every hit that you do on a boss. So for example, if you have a double, triple, or quadruple hitter on an A1 ability, let's say, then definitely go with Giant Slayer, because then you have 3-4 chances to proc this Giant Slayer mastery. Vormaster, on the other hand, only procs once. So if you have a single or double hitter, I would say, uh, then go with Warmaster. I wouldn't go Giant Slayer with a double hitter like Trunda. I would use Warmaster on Trunda, and I will use Warmaster on her. No, in fact, not. I will not use Warmaster on her, because Helm Smasher will be much more beneficial for her, because she will be using Arena, and for Arena, Helm Smasher is the go-to level 6 mastery for nukers. But that's later in the game, so uh, either go with Warmaster or Giant Slayer, I think. Okay, now the next thing is how to decide. Oh, thank you, no pop-ups. So the next thing is how to decide which champions you need to max out. So what champions you need in almost every part of the game. Uh, let's say you maxed out your first champion, uh, and that's great, because you can then complete campaign up to brutal 12, I think. Maybe you need some supporting champions, but if you have the masteries and decent equipment, if you just use the the login uh, equipment that you get as a beginner reward, the lifesteal gears, then you're good to go to farm to 12-3 solo. And why 12-3? Because the higher you go in the stage, not the stages, but the levels in the campaign. So let's say you go 12, the more XP you get. So I get more XP on the 12th level than on the 11th level, and more on the 11th level than the 10th, and so on and so forth. And why the 12-3? Because you get shields for completing this stage, and shields are just worth that much more in silver than the rest of the equipment. So that's why 12-3 is the go-to farming place on Brutal, because that's the most efficient considering the energy cost. Uh, so yes, after leveling up your starting character, you need to look out for champions who can heal potentially, like Apothecary, or who can manipulate the turn meter. So, for example, Apothecary has an ability that increases speed and fills the turn meter of allies by 15%. That can be more, Apothecary has 15%, but I think here's Diabolist, who also fills 15% and decreases 15% from the enemy. So uh, that's a thing that worth considering. Uh, I lack champions that can decrease the enemy turn meter. That's a bit of a shame, and that is needed later on. But I can live without it at the moment. So someone who can boost your turn meter and speed, and Apothecary can heal, and he has a really good heal because it's on a 2-turn cooldown after you book it up, 4 books, and this can be critical. So you can like fully heal a champion even if they are on low health if you have high enough critical rate uh, to do that. The next thing you would want is a decreased defense champion. Like here I have Bellower, who has an A3 that decreases defense and decreases attack. Uh, decreases Decreased attack will be needed on clan boss because the clan boss can smack hard, and you want to decrease that damage that he inflicts. Uh, and decrease defense because you want your decreased defense champion to be fast, so that uh, this debuff is on the boss, on the opponent before your nuker goes, who in this case will be your starting champion, Aethel, Kael, um, Galak, or Elhain. So they will be your first nukers, and you want really that decreased defense up because Bellower has a small decreased defense debuff, and the small I mean it's 30%. The big one is 60%, and you really want a champion that can do the big one. So if you can't pull a champion that can do that, like I couldn't do it yet, then go with War Maiden. She is after, as I said, ascending her to level 3, has that decreased 60% defense ability, which is just huge, huge in terms of damage. And the good thing about War Maiden is that she can be farmed in campaign on stage 10, maybe 9. No, stage 9 in the Deadlands. You can farm her, and that's good because first of all you don't need to pull her. Just farm this stage instead of 12-3. Go, let's say 9-3 or whatever stage you want, and you can get her in anywhere in this level, basically. And the second good thing is that you don't need books to upgrade her skills, because duplicate champions can be used to upgrade another champion's skills. Let's say I have a duplicate Diabolist. I go to upgrade skills, and as you can see, I can use another Diabolist. Yes, I sacrifice to upgrade one of her skills. I upgrade, and its A1 is upgraded, which is bad because I don't want her A1. I want her A3 or A2 to be upgraded because I need that cooldown reduction. But whatever, I don't plan to use her yet. Um, yeah, so that's why duplicates are good, and farmable champions are really uh, efficient in strengthening your squad. So if you can get a big defense down champion, then go with War Maiden. The third thing I would say is poison, because you really want to go for the clan boss in early game and build a team that can take on the clan boss. As you can see, I can one key easy, which means that I can get the maximum reward with one key, which is actually not that bad. I can keep that, uh, and I don't want to keep that. So you want to progress in the clan boss the most, because the higher you go, let's say you go to hard in a moment, um, you go to hard, and the night chest is really that you should be first aiming to, if you can beat the hard boss, because you can get epic skill tomes from this, uh, rare skill tome with a bigger chance, and you can get shards and whatsoever. Um, so I haven't been able to reach that, but I'm on my way. And poison is the main damage that you can use against the Columbus in the early game. And if you started with Kale, great. He will be your main Columbus nuker, or not nuker but damage dealer, for a very long time. Um, but if you didn't start with Kale, as I didn't start with him, and you just cannot pull a decent poison dealer, like I pulled Scabrius, but he's not booked, so he has a 50% chance to place a single poison, a 5% poison, which is good because it's a big poison, not a 2.5%, but it still has a low chance until I book him up. So if you wasn't able to pull someone decent, like for example Venomage as an epic, then you can find an uncommon Outlaw Monk who can deal decent amount of poison damage to bosses and clan boss, and you can actually check Hell Hades's free-to-play 2022 free-to-play uh, walkthrough or games where he actually uses two of them in the early stages against clan boss, and he can beat him up pretty easily and go too hard. And because of his A2, which places two 5% poison debuffs on the target, uh, this is why it's great, because it damages based on enemy HP, enemy max HP, if I'm correct. So you just need to put this up on the boss, and I think these are the main things that first you should consider when deciding which champions you want to invest in. Um, so I didn't know that I could use Outlaw Monk, so I probably fed a lot of Outlaw Monks in leveling up and ranking up other champions, uh, where I could have used him and progressed much more easily in Clan Boss, like I did before. But yeah, it's just I didn't know that he existed. Uh, the other um, uncommons that you want to, I don't say that you want to build them up, or you can build them up like, I don't know, level 40, level 50 if you can afford it. Are Armiger, uh, Shield Guard, which I don't have now because I do have Shield Guard, and Saurus, him, because um, Saurus, for example, will be a great campaign farmer, so you can uh, level up your food really fast with him. He can make like a 6-7 uh, second run on 12-3 if you build him up. Shield Guard is a great, I think, Fire Knight champion, but I'm not sure. I haven't used him. And Armiger is just a beast of decreased turn meter champion because it's on his A1. You give him 100% critical rate, and you can just go and smack every time you want to decrease turn meter. And actually, if you're running a team on auto, then if he decreases an enemy's turn meter below 30%, uh, then he goes like, okay, I don't want to decrease your turn meter any further, and he goes with his A2, which if it kills an enemy, then that enemy cannot be revived. And for Ice Golem, it's huge because the damage that the Ice Golem does is based on his two minions that he has on both of his sides. If both lives, that he ignores 100% of your defense. If one lives, then 50%. If none of them lives, then he doesn't have that ignore defense passive ability. So if you can block revive both of those minions, then he actually cannot really damage you that hard. Of course, on higher stages he can, but that's another question. So yeah, these are the little tips that I wanted to give you guys. Um, I hope you find something useful in those, and look out for another video. If you like, then like, subscribe. I don't know. Uh, and if you have anything to add, leave your comments down below. I was Gethroat, and see you next time.